Happy evening, everyone. On behalf of all my kindergarten friends, I welcome you all for our year-end celebration. Get ready to join us for an evening filled with color, rhythm, and joy. Let us begin the evening with a prayer song. We invite Shweta Auntie on stage to address our aunties and uncles.
ഉള്ള ഇഷ്യൂസ് വരുന്നത്. Happy evening. Happy evening, parents. A very warm welcome to our parent community. We consider it a privilege to have with us Dr. Aarti C. Rajaratnam, who has always been a welcomed and inspirational speaker amongst our parent community of Little and Rags. Pallikudam, welcome on board, Ms. Aarti. Getting back to what our little ones have been enjoying putting together, the 100 languages into an evening showcasing the rhythm of life. Being a Reggio-inspired school, it is natural to have our little ones always engrossed with the rhythm of life. But for a difference, this evening, we are having them showcasing the 100 languages to you all, something that they have been working together for the last months with their mentors. Coming back to Dr. Aarti, in fact, has ideated and has worked with the Reggio-inspired curriculum, where she has worked with 14 slum schools earlier, back in the 2010 to 2012, ideating as a part of an NGO as well. Dr. Aarti also needs no introduction, and she's had a master's in applied psychology and clinical psychology. She is a childhood and adolescent mental health expert. She also works with inclusive children and as a parenting coach. So welcome on board, Ms. Aarti, and we would like you to take our parents through with a small session for this evening before we have our little ones coming on stage. It will be followed by an interactive sessions. We will pass over the mics for parents in case you have any questions that you would like to put forth on. And meanwhile, we have our little ones backstage getting ready to bring on stage the rhythm of life. Thank you. You want me to stand? Is it a bigger stage facing them? No, I manage. Hello, little one. Thank you. Manav. Hi, Manav. Thank you. You want to give that? Give this to Uncle. Thank you. Thank you so much. Say welcome. Okay, little one. Keep that. I'll take this.
Good evening. I know all of you are excited, probably waiting to see your kids, so I won't take I won't do a long speech that'll irritate you. But I just thought I'll leave you with a couple of thoughts today, because for us to be able to do anything of value, we'll have to be constantly able to think through some of the decisions that we make. Firstly, I'd like to thank you for the opportunity. It's a joy to always be back here in Pallikudam. I've been associated with the school for about 6 years, and it's always an honor to come back here. One, because of the vision the school has, and two, more importantly, because in everything that I see Shweta doing, the child is the focus. And it's very rare to see something like that, especially in a place like Coimbatore. So congratulations to you, and of course, may this be 100 very soon. Having said that, I'm going to start with the story very quickly. Some of you may be familiar with the story. So this, once you become a parent, of course, you have no free time. I'm sure all of you know that, right? I know, I can see that smile. It's like, yes, I wish, you know. So there's this person, this father, who decided that he was going to rest the Sunday. And as soon as he took the newspaper and he opened it out, the son came in and he said, Appa, I want to play. So he knew this is going to be a never-ending Sunday. So he wanted to quickly do something to divert the kid. So he opened the newspaper, found a puzzle of the world, tore it into 50 pieces, and he said, you set the world, I'll play with you after that. So the kid went into the other room. He set the world in about 10 minutes. The father was very sure for 1 hour he was not going to be disturbed. Unfortunately, when the child came back in 10 minutes, he said, I'm sure your mother taught you. So he said, no, Appa, I did it myself. And then the father, ruffled up the whole thing, and he said, show me again. So the child immediately turned the paper. On the other side was the face of a human being. He set the face, and the world was okay. All of parenting is just that. when we set ourselves right, the whole world for our children falls in place. Are you with me? Yes, so in that, I'd like you to just join me on 2-3 activities, because learning is experience. Everything else is information. You will find information on the internet. You can Google, you can go onto ChatGPT, you can go onto any app. It'll give you tips for parenting. There are n number of parenting influencers who are sharing what works for them. But believe me, parenting is something that is very unique to each child, because it's not a set of tips and tricks. It's a relationship that you will build every day of your life. And if you've done it well, your children will become more independent, which is the fear that every parent has. Because somewhere, we want them to still be dependent on us, but at the same time, we want them to fly out of the nest. Are you all with me? Right? So how do we bring about that gentle balance between letting them fly out of the nest and bringing them back? So can I have one parent volunteer to come up, please? Because I have a couple of activities that I want to do with you. And if I could have one of the kids come over, can help me out. Can I have a volunteer from the parents? I just need one person from here. Yeah, why don't you come? You can hold this for me, right? Can I have a parent volunteer? I'm very harmless, I promise you. Okay? Yes, ma'am, please come forward. You seem to be the most brave soul here today. Okay, you can keep that. You can keep that with you, and I'll ask for it again, okay? So, ma'am, since we're outdoor, this is the perfect place to do it. So I'm going to keep this here. Can you join me? Yeah? Can you light that for me? Can you all see? I think many of you can't, so I'm going to hold it up. Come, so everybody can see. When she told me it's outdoor, I was so happy. I brought the activity the moment she said it was outdoor. Okay, so how does that make you feel, ma'am?
It's because of the air.
It's because of the air. We blame somebody else, right? Now, no matter what you do, so what I'll do now, can you hold the mic? Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll light, you hold the candle together, right? So, come and come. So you hold this for us. And so you will also light it, you will also hold it, you will also hold it. So we'll make sure that we light it somehow. It's lit now, but it doesn't serve any purpose. Because what's the purpose of light? The purpose of light is that it should shine. If we're going to, thank you. The purpose of light is that it should shine. And if we're going to hold it like this, what we're really doing is defeating the purpose of light. This is what overprotection does to children. Am I making sense to you? Thank you. Now, on the other hand, if I could ask you to light this, right? Yeah. Would this be easier?
Yes.
Can you try?
Yes.
So you can light this for me. It worked? Right in the, oh, we'll have to light it again. But it's definitely much easier, right? Yes? Yes, perfect. Now it has the opportunity to shine through. If our parenting practices believe that children can shine, what we need to do is to create the structure and the opportunities, then they will shine through, no matter how the external wind is. Are you with me? Yes. So, thank you. So how do we bring about that? Number one, it comes from the faith that children already know that they're capable. My nephew, when he was about 5 years old, he was in school and they gave him a questionnaire which said, who is your role model? And as a 5-year-old, he came and asked me, role model na enna? Okay, 5-year-old, I'm sure even 13-year-olds now don't know what a role model is. So then I wondered what's the easiest way to tell him that. And I asked him, "Nee yaar madri aaganum kekranga?" They want to know who you want to become like. The child looked absolutely puzzled and he said, "Na enna madri agano." Children have that wisdom. They know their potential. They know what they need to achieve. We destroy it because somewhere we're very confused about how to take them forward. And in a place like Coimbatore, where the competition is very, very high, parents are competing with each other to ensure that their children are somehow superstars, not realizing that they're already superstars. They don't need to do anything externally to become that superstar. Are you with me? That's where, please let's not forget that the purpose of the light is to be shining. If you're going to cover everything for that spark to be seen, then I think you failed as a parent. Are you with me? Yes. Can I have one more parent volunteer? My dear friend with the bag, you may need to bring the bag again to me, and I'll need a glass of water. Yes. Can I have another volunteer, please? Your turn is out. You can't come back again. Anybody else? Not yet ready to come in? Would one of the kids like to come forward? One of you. Yeah. Hey, one. A whole bunch of you are here. I'll just need one person. I'll take you. What is your name? Pardon? Anuvrinda is going to... Can you blow this for me? Yeah. Little louder. Little louder. Okay. And that becomes sometimes the parenting that we do. For how much of a capacity I have, I will keep giving to my children, hoping that they will pick up the wisdom. And after some time, it'll be, children in Somalia don't have food. So you must go and donate something. You must do this. So we're influencing them in many ways. Now what I'm going to do is to fill this with water. Some more. Yeah. Can you blow this now? Please remember, it's not what we give them from the outside, but what our children have on the inside that makes the difference. Are you with me? Please remember, the children seem to agree, right? So in a place like Coimbatore, my wish for the parents here is to understand that no matter what they externally showcase to you, within each child is this brilliance. They will take the opportunities and they will make it a song. Don't leave it like one useless whistle. Are you all with me? Many of you are very, very silent, but I hope today's speech is going to be something that you can reflect upon and not just be bored by because it's a lecture. Are you with me? The last activity that I have, thank you, Anuvrinda. Can I have one more person to come forward? Yes. Run quickly, the boys are running faster than you now. Okay, right. Okay, come. What's your name? Mahati. Mahati. You can keep that. Yeah. Mahati, come forward. Okay, keep your hands like that. Turn this way. Keep your hands like that. Keep looking at your hands. All you have to do is to look at your hands, and at some point I'll drop the ball. You have to catch the ball. Is this clear? Rules are clear? Yes. Okay. Where do you have to look? My hands. Keep looking there. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. What happened? I thought you should catch the ball. Keep your hands that way. Try one more time. Now, keep your hands that way. Look at the ball. One more time, look at the ball. Please stop focusing on the results. Focus on the learning. Children will make it. Are you with me? Yes, thank you. So today my message is very, very simple. I just brought 3 activities to share with you. 1, please don't overprotect. Protection, yes. Let your children feel safe, yes. But at the same time, give them the freedom to be. Second, no matter what the trend on the outside is, remember that your child has a song. And if you create the right opportunities, they will find a way to express themselves. And 3, and more important, especially what happens in Pallikudam, because I've been associated here, focus on the learning, the process. The results will always fall in place. If you focus so much on the results, like your traditional school in Coimbatore does, it's going to be very, very tough. Are you with me? I'll end with one small story. Because we have the annual day happening today, many of your children will come on stage. Some of them will be too stunned because there's too much light, sound, crowd. If they don't perform, take them home, hold them close, let them know you love them. Whether they perform or not, you will be that loving presence for them. The story goes that the boy wanted to audition for the school play. Mother knew he was not particularly great as an actor, so she said, you audition, I'll come and pick you up in the evening. She was very sure that he was not going to be selected because he was not particularly great on stage. In the evening, when she went to pick him up in the school, he was coming out all cheerful and happy. Mother was shocked. She probably thought he's got a part in the play. And he said, I auditioned and I've got an important role. So she said, what role have they given you? He said, I'm going to be sitting in the audience and cheering for my friends on stage. And that is the innocence and the beauty of a child. If we can take back one message today, please let's remember that whether you're here or you're there, you're still a star. In your eyes, if your child is special and beautiful, nothing else will matter for them all through life. I hope this session today was useful. Thank you for the opportunity again. Thank you.
I'm sure after hearing Ms. Aarti's enlightening words, many of you may have questions. So we are open for questions, 5 questions. As we tell our children, please raise your quiet hand. The mic will come to you. Any questions? No questions. Then we have to ask the children, any questions? Anybody would like to ask a question? Parents sitting in the front, middle, behind? Come on, be brave. Didn't you see the children being brave and coming up on stage? Be brave and ask a question.
It could be any question with parenting styles. In case you have a query with parenting, the rightful parenting or the mindful parenting, the empathetic parenting, any kind of questions that your parents would like to put forth.
Good evening, ma'am. What is the parameter for overprotection or little protection? How do you decide that?
The parameters for parenting are very, very simple. As a result of your protection, if your child feels more empowered and feels more independent and confident, then you've done it right. As a result of your protection, if the child is feeling less empowered, more fearful, and afraid to take the next step, then it's become overprotection. So I hope that answers the question. Yes.
I am not a parent, I am a grandparent. I just want to ask you the grandparents' role to the children. If you can, because mostly the protection comes, many grandparents do much more than the parents. So the parents mostly they get kind of a thing. So what do you think about this grandparents' role?
The grandparents' role in anybody's life is to undo the mistakes you did when you were parents. Number one. Okay, number one. But jokes apart, the role of the grandparent is to show children what unconditional love is. Because, in the next few years, in the coming years, we will be learning about human relationships in history. Mother's brother is called mama, kind of thing we will learn in history because relationships have shrunk so much. So if we can help them understand that every relationship is important and that, you'll have to find that equation to make it work, I think that's the best, sir. So thank you for that beautiful question again. Thank you. You have a question here, ma'am? No, I thought you had a question. Yes. Any other questions? Otherwise, I know you're all excited and you're waiting for your children, so I won't take too much time. But if there are questions, anything else? That's it. There's something there. We're going to shout from there. Okay. How to handle siblings fights? You should let them fight. Number one. I'll tell you why. Nature creates certain mechanisms for us to acquire skills. The fight with the sibling is nature's way of saying, learn how to work with each other. Siblings will always find a way to resolve their conflict. But when you sit there as the Chief Justice of India, you diminish their ability to find solutions. Right? After a point, this one will remember all the times you favored the other one. That one will remember all the times you favored this one. You will be the bad guy in the whole thing. They'll still fight. They will just play like nothing happened. So it's very important for us to allow them to fight as long as there's safety. Number one. Secondly, sibling fights come because children understand that these are times I should be united, this is problem solving, and when something outside pushes my boundary, the two of us can fight it together. So it's important to allow it. It's a beautiful bonding exercise. So don't look at it, you grew up with brothers and sisters, did you fight? Then why are you asking this question? Okay, so honestly, it's a natural process and we should allow it, not step in to solve it. They will learn to solve the problem. So I hope that answers your question. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great evening. Wishing all our children, our superstars, the very best today. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Aarti, for those enlightening words. And we couldn't agree more that learning has to be experienced, and every child has an innate wisdom which we as adults need to trust. And I'm sure our parents will carry back some valuable insights with this interaction. Thank you once again for joining us.
Happy evening, parents. I see children also here, so happy evening to you all too. We're not going to take much time. We're here to present the annual report. We're doing it differently this year. We're having our learners present to you. So very excitedly and without any delay, I would love to introduce our learners to you all. Our first annual report speaker is very special to our to the Pallikudam family. He is Jishnu. He's special because he's the first student to have enrolled since the school had started. So can we have a big clap for him? And he's going strong. He's in grade 6. Our second learner, we'd like to call upon Kian. He's in grade 5. he just told me backstage that he loves gardening. He's a voracious reader too. So a big clap for Kian as well. And the third speaker, the reporter today, is Vivan Vishnu from grade 4. He's a little encyclopedia. I can go on and speak about him because I've handled him for 2 years. So these three, can we have a big round of applause for them? This is happening for the first time that we have our, grade school learners present the Little Pallikudam's annual report. So are you good to go, Jishnu? Yes, come. Can we start? You go with this, I'll take the other mic. You can start.
Good evening, everyone. I'm delighted to extend a warm welcome to our school's year-end program. Thank you for joining us for this special occasion where we celebrate and support our young learners.
The Reggio Emilia approach, founded by Loris Malaguzzi, celebrates a child's endless ways of expression. It recognizes the 100 languages of children, symbolizing the infinite potential. This philosophy values a child's innate curiosity and creativity. It believes in multiple ways of seeing and multiple ways of being.
We are going to present you the learning experience of our little champs last year. Please have your watchful eyes and listening ears and cheer on. Let's begin.
Do you remember the first week of junior school? All the classrooms were so beautifully arranged. I remember how much we played with colors after we settled in and became friends. The big art room where we had all the surprise. Wow, I love that place.
Atlia celebrates a child's endless ways of expression. It recognizes the 100 languages of children, symbolizing their infinite potential. In a Reggio Emilia school, the Atlia beckons to children to unleash their creative through art. Art, with its unbridled and spontaneous nature, is the perfect medium for children to express themselves.
The younger learners, the junior explorers, had a special time before school started. They got to spend an hour with their parents, which helped them feel more comfortable at school.
They had a lot of fun activities like playing with mystery boxes, hammering and pounding things, and spending time in the sand pit. These activities helped them better at moving their big muscles and feel more settled in at school.
Let me share with you the exciting activities our junior explorers and explorers engaged at the start of the year. They delved into the world of colors, learning how to mix them into create new shades. They had a blast experimenting with paints, blending hues, and yes, making a bit of a mess along the way.
Before diving into the intricacies of colors and mixing, they began with a nature walk to discover the hues found in the natural world. Upon their return to the classroom, they employed paints to replicate these colors. They then delved into experimentation, blending them to produce new shades, including secondary colors.
They also explored the world of shapes in an enjoyable manner. Picture this: lying on your back, observing the clouds take on various forms, and then looking around the classroom to identify shapes everywhere. The windows and doors forming squares and rectangles. They embarked on a shape hunt, spotting different shapes in cars, buses, trees, and everything else around them. This is how our little champions learned about shapes.
They learned all about the animal kingdom as well. They learned about farm animals, pet animals, wild animals, and even birds. They had their field trip to the farm, a pet corner set up at school, went out and watched birds on a nature walk.
What about the insects?
They refer to them as creepy crawlies. They embarked on an insect hunt using shovels to unearth insects